Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about control of banks. It is a rather lengthy chapter, but let us have discussion with few important topics. So as we already discussed in BR Act, license is issued under Section 22. Section 22 itself requires banks to do business a license. So for applying for license, all banks need to open their books to Reserve Bank of India. In generally, what we do while selecting a partner, we check financial and organizational health, right? Even it is applicable to life partner case also. We check financial and mental health, right? Financially stable, mentally stable. That means attitude, behavior, everything is considered. So the same applies to partners as well as organizations. So in this case, RBI assesses financial and organizational health. What it means? The organizations that want to be banks need to be financially strong and organizationally well established practices and a proper ethical ways of doing business should be there, and the motto is very important. So this license need not be issued. That means it is not restricting on RBI. RBI can issue at its discretion. So getting 35 marks is not qualifying for this. In general exams, if we got 35 marks, you are pass. But here in case of RBI, it's not. Criteria is one thing need to be met. After meeting criteria, it's the discretion of RBI whether to give or not, just like our bank selection. Okay. Then local area bank license applicable to only a particular area. They can't move out of that. In case of foreign banks, that means these are established out of the country. So under the laws of their respective governments. So when they want to enter into India, we verify few things. First thing is conditions. What are applicable to Indian banks, also applicable to foreign banks. Second thing is their mode of entering into Indian business. If their mode of entering is service and business, okay. But if any other mode, we won't allow. Next thing is whether their respective government or their respective laws of their origin is discriminatory. If they are discriminatory, our government won't allow. Next thing, they need to adhere to Banking Regulation Act of India. So if they follow all this, then they will be allowed to enter into Indian markets. Next, the license can be cancelled under Section 22B or 22 BR Act for not doing business, obviously, and if they fail to meet conditions 22.1, 22.3. Time can be given. Generally, it is given, but there is no restrictions on RBI to give time. They can, without giving the time, they can cancel the license for public interest. That means, meanwhile, if they are in a situation to happen some fraud, they want to prevent some fraud, they will give license they will cancel the license in public interest. If the banking company aggrieved of this situation, they can appeal to Government of India within 30 days of order. They have 30 days of period. Now, up to now we discussed about bank licensing. Now we need to know about branch licensing. To start a new branch or to change location of a present branch, RBI permission is needed. So to start a new branch, license is needed. To change location, RBI permission is needed. For change within the city or village, no problem, no need of permission. For temporary change, even out of city, like we participate in melas, exhibitions, etc., or in any emergency situations. For example, one of my branches where I worked blasted by Naxalites. So over a night we can't apply for RBA. So that branch worked from alternates in disaster management. So for such things, there is no need of RBA approval up to 30 days. Okay, so apart from this, we have to apply for RBI approval. It is yearly once window. That means we can apply altogether yearly once, and the license or approval issued is valid for 1 year. That's why all the banks generally rush at one point of time to start new branches. They don't need any muhurta. They just say to at that time we are available, start the branch, find good muhurta. So this license is valid for 1 year from the time of issuance. These rural banks which need to do these things have to route their applications through NABARD. Next. This deposit with RBI is not that much important. Actually, under corporate governance, every bank have to deposit 300 crores. So just roughly have an idea of them. Foreign banks have to deposit 15 lakhs plus 20% of their Indian profit. That means whatever they profit they declared in India, out of that they have to deposit 20%. If these foreign banks in Kolkata or Mumbai, it is 20 lakhs plus 20%. If an Indian bank is in only one place, that is 50,000. Only one state, only 5 lakhs. If Mumbai and Kolkata are there, 5 to 10 lakhs. Multi-state, 5 lakhs. Mumbai or Kolkata is there, 10 lakhs. This is the system. Then shares pattern need to be like this. First of all, know what is authorized capital. Whenever you approach IPO, for IPO, you have some authorized capital, the capital that you want to collect from the public. So I want 100 crores. So I went to market the 10 crores of shares, each 10 rupees. So total 100 rupees I went to market. When I went to market, people subscribe to that. These IPOs or secondary issues can be subscribed or oversubscribed or undersubscribed. Depends on company. Generally, we come across oversubscribed cases. In case of Patanjali, in case of D-Mart, in case of IRCTC, these are all oversubscribed cases. So, when subscribed, they can subscribe for 100 crores or 500 crores or 50 crores, but we can issue only 100 crores. So subscribed capital need to be a minimum of, in this case we are going for 100 crores, so need to be a minimum of 50 crores, and once subscribed they have to pay. So the paid up capital need to be at least 25 crores, so half of subscribed capital. Okay, if any change in this pattern, that means paid up capital need to be at least half of subscribed capital need to be at least half of authorized capital. If any change, need to adhere to this rule in 2 years. Then to have shares according to section 12b, there is no ceiling. Please be clear, have a clear cut concept here. To have shares, there is no ceiling. You can have 90% of shares, but for voting rights 10% is ceiling. After 10% nobody gets voting rights. It is to see that accumulation of power in banking industry or in a particular bank is not with one person, because it will be dangerous. So voting rights 10% is ceiling. If you want to acquire 5% or more shares with voting rights, you have to take RBI permission. And to find out these things, all organizations need to submit report on shareholding annually to RBI, Reserve Bank of India. And one more thing, the main things are, one is 5% plus shares you have to report to RBI, 10% with voting rights is ceiling. For having shares, there is no ceiling. And not so important, commission or brokerage or discount, whatever it may be, it is maximum 2.5% on share issue value. Say for example, in the earlier case, say we issue share for 100 rupees, so 2.5% of 100 is 2 rupees 50 paise. So maximum commission is 2 rupees 50 paise. We can't give more commission than this because it is restricted. So, but generally, if you observe, shares are traded at 100 rupees, 10 rupees shares are traded at around 2000 or 3000. So for 3000 rupees share, 2.5 rupees is not practical at all, but this is the rule. So 2.5% of share issue value, not current market price. Share issue value means its face value. Okay. Then section 15 gives about dividend. For giving dividend, there are some rules. Capital adequacy ratio should be above 9% or above. Net NPA should be less than 7%. And capital expenses completely written off. Okay, these three conditions need to be met. Then maximum 40% payout can be given. That means if the bank has 100 rupees of profit, maximum dividend is 40 rupees. Okay, and it need to be on current year profit only. We don't have right to do gimmicks like projected future profit and for projected future profit or last 3 years profit, like that things not possible. Next, if bank want to establish subsidiaries, need the approval of Reserve Bank of India, because if there is no need of approval, banks will do all sorts of business. They will enter into, say for example, sales of cosmetics and essentials like soaps and toothpaste, and they will make you to sell in branch itself. Luckily, there is no chance. RBI won't allow. Banks can do the business permissible in Section 6 of BR Act or other business that with the permission of RBI. So generally RBI won't give permission to these trade or related businesses. And to do business outside India, also they can go for this approval. So another thing is the investment limitations of bank. So these, what are the comes into investment? Direct investment like buying bonds, shares, or pledge mortgage. These are comes under investment. So whenever bank, that means decision making people of bank have interest in that company. Say for example, your bank managing director or chairman have some shares in Y company, then your bank can't invest in Y company. That means they can't pledge the shares of Y company, they can't take mortgage of Y company shares, they can't directly invest. That means buy bonds or shares from Y company. So this is not, please be clear, decision making body. That means somewhere, some places I read managers doesn't mean branch managers or manager level officers in your bank. Managers means decision making body, management team. That means board of directors, chairman, etc. The ordinary branch manager don't have any power on decision making. And apart from that, say for example, SBA have more than 2 lakh people employees. So generally they have shares in all employees have shares in hold together in all companies. So SBA can't afford to lose the business. So managers means MDs, directors, chairmen. These are the people. And the interest means they can be part of board, they can have shares or bonds in that company, or their wife or relatives is part of that Y company. In such case it is considered as interest, and the bank can't do business with those companies, can't invest, can't do business also. Then if not, then maximum investment criteria is there. It is minimum of 30% paid up share capital of company, or 30% paid up capital plus reserve of bank. For example, Google is there. To what extent we can invest? So ours is a bank of 100 crores. Our bank, so 30% of our bank paid up capital plus reserves comes to 35 crores. 30 plus say 5 crores, 35 crores. So we can't, but we can invest at a maximum of 35 crores. 30% of Google is, it is huge. We can't invest all our bank assets into Google. If anything went wrong with Google, we will be in soup. So that is not accepted. So here the maximum is 30% paid up capital plus the reserve of our bank. Say for example, there is one Dakota company. That's paid up capital is 1 crore. So 30% is 30 lakhs, but our bank 100 crores. 30% is 30 crores. Here we can go up to the maximum of 30 lakhs.